Okay, so imagine a plant that was already ancient when the very first dinosaurs started roaming the Earth. We're talking about cycads, these incredible living fossils that have seen entire worlds rise and fall. But here's the crazy part. Today, these ultimate survivors are facing their biggest threat ever, and it's us. So let's dive into the story of ancient life and very modern crime.
To really get this, you have to go back in time. And I mean way back. Cycads are this ancient group of plants, right? They've been around for 280 million years. You know the Jurassic period with T-Rex and Stegosaurus? Well, that whole era was so dominated by these plants that scientists actually call it the Age of Cycads. They are literally prehistoric.
And this is where the story takes a really sharp, dark turn. Think about it. These plants have made it through catastrophic climate change, asteroid impacts, you name it. They have outlasted countless other species. But somehow, what we're doing right now has created a crisis that these ancient survivors might actually not overcome. So, what is this new threat that's so devastating? Well, it's not a natural disaster. No, it's a highly organized, incredibly profitable criminal enterprise. We're talking about a black market that treats these living artifacts like status symbols, and it's driving them straight towards extinction. The scale of this crisis is just staggering, especially in South Africa, which is a global hotspot for cycads. The country has 38 native species of a type called Encephalartos. And get this, a shocking 70% of them are now facing extinction. That makes them one of the most threatened groups of living things on the entire planet. And here's the reason why. It's the price tag. A single mature plant, just a meter high, can sell for over 100,000 US dollars on the black market. To put that in perspective, that's up there with the value of a rhino horn. This isn't just about collecting plants. This is high-stakes trafficking of natural treasures. And the demand is just so intense that poachers will even go after the seeds. They can get up to $1,000 for just one seed. That kind of money for a single seed fuels a relentless harvest from the wild, turning every plant into a potential payday for these criminal groups. But, behind all these shocking numbers are individual plants with their own incredible stories, some of them deeply woven into human culture. Let's actually look at a few of these remarkable survivors to really understand what we're about to lose. This right here is the Majajaji cycad. For centuries, it's been held sacred and protected by the Lobadu people and their dynasty of rain queens. And because of that deep cultural respect, a whole forest of these amazing plants still stands. It's the only one of its kind in southern Africa. It's just a beautiful example of the powerful bond that can exist between people and plants.
But yeah, not all of these stories have a happy ending. Which brings us to Wood's cycad. Its story is a modern tragedy of discovery and ultimately loss.
This timeline just shows how fast a species can disappear. The only wood cycad ever found in the wild was a single male plant. And over about 20 years, it was taken from its home literally piece by piece. First, they took small offshoots from its base, then entire stems, all for botanical collections until there was nothing left. So today, it's completely extinct in the wild. Every single wood cycad you see anywhere in the world is a clone of that one lonely male plant.
And that's what extinction looks like. With no female plant ever found, this species can never reproduce naturally again. It's basically a genetic ghost, kept alive only because we can clone it. It just makes you wonder, is this what's waiting for other threatened species? Protecting these plants really starts with knowing what they are. They're often mistaken for palms or even ferns, but they're their own unique group. So how can you tell if you're looking at one of South Africa's protected Encephalartos species? Well, there are a few key things to look for. First up, check out the leaves. The little leaflets have veins that run parallel to each other. But the key detail, the thing to really look for, is what's not there. They don't have that single central vein, that mid-vein running down the middle. They're also really hard and stiff, not soft like a fern at all. Next, take a look at the trunk. It has this amazing, almost reptilian pattern. What you're seeing are scars left behind by old leaves, and they form this distinctive diamond shape that spirals all the way around the trunk. You definitely won't see that on a palm tree. And finally, the absolute dead giveaway is how they reproduce. Cycads don't have flowers. Nope. Instead, they produce these massive, really impressive cones. If you see a plant that looks kind of like a palm, but has a giant cone, well, you're looking at a cycad. Palms, on the other hand, just have small, pretty unnoticeable flowers.
Okay, so now that we know what to look for, let's get back to the people hunting them. This isn't just random theft. Cycad smuggling is a highly organized crime, and these groups operate like the transnational syndicates that traffic in things like drugs or weapons. The whole process is systematic, and it's brutal. Poachers, often from poor communities, are hired to just hack the plants right out of the ground. Then the plants get wrapped up and smuggled to central hubs. There, they're laundered with fake permits to make them look legal. And finally, they're sold to wealthy collectors, a lot of times through online forums and social media.
And while Gauteng is the main hub inside South Africa, the demand is global. You've got wealthy collectors in places like California, Australia, Dubai, and Kuala Lumpur who are willing to pay top dollar. That's what fuels this whole international trafficking network, and it puts this immense pressure on the wild plants back in South Africa.
And like a lot of organized crime, this trade really couldn't thrive without one crucial ingredient: corruption. There are reports that some officials are bribed to basically look the other way, which completely undermines the very laws that are designed to protect these plants in the first place.
But it's not a lost cause. Not at all. There is a dedicated fight happening right now by law enforcement, conservationists, and scientists to protect what's left. They are, quite literally, fighting to save time itself, embodied in these ancient plants. The laws are actually pretty strong. In South Africa, there's the NEMBA Act, which forbids trading in wild cycads. And internationally, they're protected under CITES, which bans all commercial trade. The big challenge, of course, isn't the law itself, it's enforcing it.
And there's also this unique scientific hurdle. See, unlike most seeds, cycad seeds are what scientists call recalcitrant. What that means is you can't just dry them and freeze them in a seed bank for the future. They'll just die. This makes the usual conservation methods incredibly difficult, and it means that our collections of living plants are one of our only real hopes. This is why public awareness and just getting involved are so important. If you're in South Africa and you suspect any illegal activity, there is a way you can help. This National Environmental Crimes and Incidents Hotline is a really crucial tool in this fight. So it really all comes down to this. We are talking about a line of life that has survived planetary catastrophes. After making it for 280 million years, is their epic story going to end not with a bang, but quietly, by being uprooted just to become a status symbol in someone's private garden?